I was really hoping that the joint live stream was going to be something other than a crossover. I'm definitely not upset. Some people are legitimately mad or completely destroyed at the fact Dan is coming to the game. And I mean, hey, if you're like that, I think you just need to go outside. But I will not lie, I do have gripes. Not with the crossover itself, more so just the overall state of the game and how this crossover, if we keep doing stuff like this, could hurt the schedule even more than what it already has. If you guys just now jumped on the GS train, you may not know exactly how crossovers worked since the beginning of time for GS. For the most part, crossovers always released on JP first, then came out to Global. And for a while there, at least in the early years of Grand Summoners Global, they were very sporadic. Really didn't have like a complete formula. It was like, oh, JP has it, and so it's gonna eventually show up on Global, but we don't know when. Thankfully, once we got to about, I think it was year 2, maybe year 3 of GS, they kind of got on the schedule with crossovers that, hey, if JP has the crossover, you could believe that more than likely we're getting that crossover next. So we were only ever really one crossover behind. We never ever caught up to GS JP at all, which was actually a really good schedule. It was the only thing that was actually predictable in GS, so you could plan accordingly, maybe just see, kind of play it by ear, do some research on the Japanese side, see how the gameplay is with all these different units, and really decide if you wanted to summon for them or not. And not only did it give you time to decide if you were going to summon or not, it also gave you plenty of time to grind up crystals and save up currency to actually summon on the crossover banner. I know a lot of us are just, hey, a one and done, Who cares if we have 1,500 crystals? We do not. We only need 50. We summon and we pray to God that we get what we want. But some of us out there are actual savers, and we want to make sure that we get the unit above all. Well, unfortunately, how stuff's been going recently, I think it's going to be a bit harder to kind of follow this same schedule that we've known for the last 3, 4, 5 years. Ever since we started getting the joint collabs, we started getting same time release crossovers. Happened first with Farron, and now it's with Dan. And see, the first time it happened, it really wasn't that bad, to be honest. It was like, oh, okay, we get a same time release crossover. Yeah, we don't get magical index. It is what it is. Let's just enjoy this because we already know the next crossover after this is more than likely going to be magical index. Well, once Farron ended in JP, it was still going on in Global. And what did JP get after Farron ended? A Kill la Kill rerun, which was extremely hype because now everybody was like, oh my God, after magical index, we're going to get Hoka. So we got to try to, really plan out our resources and make sure that we have an ample amount of crystals to actually summon for Hoka plus, whoever you want in magical index, which that was fine. That's what was the game plan. Everybody kind of knew that once we were late into the Farron crossover, but then out of nowhere, joint live stream announcement. We're all like, what's happening? I'm thinking it's the same time release unit. It's probably not a crossover again because we just got a brand new crossover Fear, and there's no way we're doing back-to-back new crossovers. They drop back-to-back new crossovers. And we get Dan, which is great. All the characters look cool. I'm hoping that they're going to be just as good. Of course, we don't have their kits yet, but still, this here lies the issue. Global is now, if we don't include Dan, 2 crossovers behind JP. Here's the worst part, ladies and gentlemen. Not only do we need to catch up with this, it's just going to get even harder. We're getting towards the end of this year, and we already know the later and later in the year we go, we're going to be having different type of celebrations. We usually have something around Thanksgiving. We also have something for Christmas and also New Year's. So it's very likely that some of the most sought after GS units will be coming out during the next few months. And in tandem with that, we'll be releasing the various crossovers that we have not got on Global, which is wild to me because depending on how it is now, we may not get magical index directly after Dan. We may get Kill la Kill first, which, I don't really think there's going to be an issue whichever one comes first, but still it's like, dang, Kill la Kill will be coming first. Right after Dan, we're having if Dan had like amazing units all throughout it, so you're going to summon on Dan, then they're just like, hey, we need more crystals from you. Here's Kill la Kill. Hey, what about we take even more crystals? Here's magical index. And it truly is like draining every ounce of crystal income that you have. And if you're a free-to-play player during these very, very tough times, I feel truly bad for you. If you're willing to spend a little bit of money, hey man, the dollar pack is going to come in clutch during these next few months. Now, one thing that is really good about Global compared to JP is that Global's crossovers last pretty long. So we'll have ample amount of time to at least get a bit of crystals before the next crossover. JP crossovers usually last at most maybe 20 something days. Global crossovers will usually last almost a month and a half, sometimes even 2 months. So we'll have to see what exactly Dan to Dan is going to be like on global, but if they were going to test the waters for this, they may make it to where global Dan to Dan is going to be shorter than any other crossover before to kind of match the JP schedule of it. Of course, take that with a grain of salt. I don't know if they're actually going to do that. We'll be finding that out very soon, because even in JP, there's not an end date for the part 1 or part 2 banner. So is there necessarily a fix to all of this? And to me, I say probably not. There's already so much happening that the only way that you could technically fix or, try to catch up at this point would be to release Dan to Dan after Dan to Dan, maybe hold off on another joint collab till at least we're like one crossover behind again. I also think that maybe eventually GS should look into possibly just having a server merge like multiple other games are doing nowadays. I think that would definitely help out when it comes to not only just overall content, but also with the whole scheduling issue when it comes to stuff like crossovers. However, I think it is almost impossible for them to server merge unless we really start on an accelerated schedule to actually get a lot of the content out into the global version of the game. So we're not going to be missing too much, but maybe too much to ask to get on an accelerated schedule. So I'm just going to go with the former option. Just calm down a little bit. Just calm down just a tiny bit when we do these same time crossovers. The craziest part is, I think if you did same time units, like a same time release GS unit, it wouldn't mess up anything. I mean, sure, the unit was broken, everybody would freak out, especially the unit being brand new. A lot of people would summon on them just because of that. But in reality, it wouldn't really affect too much if you were still like trying to save for something. I think if anything though, this just really hurts the free-to-play players because you can't really plan as much as you used to be able to. But at the same time, it's like, well, we're getting brand new stuff that we've never seen before in GS, which is kind of cool. So I personally don't know how to completely feel about it. I just kind of hope that they do compensate for all of these crossovers with a bit more crystal gain possibly from the events to make sure that free-to-play players are actually able to summon. I'm not saying that maybe they should be able to pity just off of crossover missions and stuff, but definitely give them a few multis. But ladies and gentlemen, tell me down below what you all think about this. Are you kind of a little bit worried like me? Are you maybe completely okay with it? Are you on the fence about stuff? Let me know all that type of stuff down below in the comment section. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much again for hanging out. If you enjoyed this video, I recommend check out this video right here. It's talking about everything in the Dan to Dan live stream. If you're interested in watching that, click on it. I'll meet you over there. Oh, and one more thing before you leave, don't forget to drink water.